Usually from Team Pregrad. So first of all, I wanted to introduce Pregrad. Pregrad is an edtech platform where our main mission is to bridge the gap between the student and the industrial mentor. Right. So we kickstarting your career before graduation. Pregrad was founded by Ankur Saxena and Madhav Chaturvedi in 2021. Pregrad offer many upskilling programs powered by leading giant industries like Wipro, IBM, Cisco, Meta, and many more. So let's begin a session. Are you excited? On the scale of 0 to 10, how much are you excited? Write in the chat box. 9, 10, 10, 10, 10. Oh, so much of excitement. 9.12. Nice. So, a very warm welcome to Aakriti Aggarwal. She is an AI engineer at IBM and an ex-software developer at SAP. So, please give Aakriti a warm welcome. Everyone, please welcome her.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Aakriti. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So यहाँ तो
So
बहुत सारी
first,
excitement है.
first and foremost, I wanted to thank you, like you and Priya, to having me here is such a privilege for me. And I have seen that a lot of people are already like giving 10, 10, 10. So it is making me a little under pressure. So let's hope I'll do best.
No worries, no worries. काफी
Yeah.
अच्छी audience है हमारी. So just a quick reminder, all the attendees, your mics and cameras are turned off for this session. If you feel any issue or query, just write your query in the chat box. Okay, let's make this session fun and engaging. So over
Yeah,
to
let's make it interactive all throughout the session. Yeah.
over
So
to you,
maybe I can share
Aakriti.
my screen. Yeah. So let's start with a quick introduction. So I am Aakriti Aggarwal. I am an AI engineer at IBM, and it's been almost 2 years at corporate world, and I have been an SD also. So hopefully, like in this seminar, you will get to know all about this, and you will have a clear mindset on to pursue like generative AI and what is generative AI and all these things. So yeah. So maybe I can start with the session and share my screen. Uh, Let me know is my screen visible? Firstly? Okay. Yeah, so this seminar is all about generative AI and what is the hype versus reality behind this. So I'll discuss the agenda. So what is generative AI? I'll discuss thoroughly about this, and I'll discuss like what is large language model and like what is ChatGPT, Gemini, what is LLM models do, and how it is being trained, how it works. And the most important slide will be this one, like will AI take over the jobs or replace developer, or it will not? And for you guys, it is important to like how to build a career in AI, because like I assume that you all have registered for this session, so you are looking for a career in AI. So this slide will be the most important slide for you guys. So let's start with the generative AI. So what is generative AI? I'll read this technical definition first and then I'll explain with an example. So, generative AI is basically a short for generative artificial intelligence, and it is a type of AI that can create new data like text, images, music, and even videos. And it essentially is like a superpower copywriter or artist that can learn the underlying pattern of things and use that knowledge to generate entirely new creation. And you can see a generative AI is a part of deep learning model. So somewhere you can relate a generative AI is something that relates with artificial neural network. So from generative AI, you can assume, you can, from the terminology, you can say that an AI that can generate new things. So generative AI leverages deep learning technique based on artificial neural network to create new data that mimics the properties of its training data. From the application, maybe you can get to know, we can generate new images. You have seen a lot of DALI work and Jasper that are the tools to generate images from the text, maybe like Batman fighting with Spider-Man, something like this. Text generation, like writing as essays, articles, or even coding that we do on ChatGPT. Music generation, like to compose a new piece of music, like you can ask like you can ask AI to like Lata Mangeshwar should sing in English or something like that. And also like data augmentation, like to generate new training data sets. So all this can be done using generative AI. So what is so different with generative AI compared to the classical AI that has been so far throughout, like we have seen a lot from the lot decades before. So with an example, I'll explain. We have seen the recommendation system, like in Netflix, where I start watching one movie, and based on that, a whole new set of movies starts recommending. So that is classical AI, where it is not generating new data, rather it is giving information what it is already there. And now think, you liked one movie, but you don't like one part of the movie or maybe the climax of the movie, and you want to generate on your own. So give some context to generative AI, text generation tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or anything, and it will generate a whole new climax for you. So that is generative AI. It generates a new set of data. So coming to the next slide, that is LLM. So LLM is a large language model, and it is a type of artificial intelligence model. Maybe I can show you. So LLM is a part of this black circle, that is generative AI. So that is trained to understand and generate human language. This model are based on machine learning and deep learning techniques that have billions of parameters. That is why we call it large language model, large. So it allows them to perform tasks such as text generation, translation, summarization, question answerings, and more. LLM basically do all these applications over here. LLM is for textual data only. For image generation and video generation, we have different type of artificial intelligence under the umbrella of generative AI. Key characteristics of generative AI is it offer ranges from millions to hundred of billions, and that is huge. So they require extensive computational resources for training, and for that we need a lot of GPUs and TPUs. We can't just train any model on our laptop, whether it is Windows, Mac, or anything. That needs a lot amount of GPUs and TPUs, and also it needs a large amount of data. When I say large amount of data, so to train the models like GPT-4 or Gemini or Llama, we the models are being trained on a lot of articles, books, websites, and other materials that is openly available to the internet, and also some private information as well. So, and the most important thing that these things are vary from languages to language, like that the things are trained on English, German, French, and all these languages. I'm not saying like all the languages, one 7,000 something languages, but like vast amount of languages that are commonly spoken in the world. So that is large language model. Some famous large language models are ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, and there are way more large language models that are available in the market, open source, and we can use them directly. But these are some of the famous large language model. ChatGPT is a tool, and behind this, there are three models: GPT 3.5, GPT 4, and GPT 4o. And Gemini is from the Google, and Llama is from the Meta. So these models are currently only works on the textual data because I am saying LLM, so LLM is for textual data. But there are other models that are multi-models, like they can do all the things together, like Gemini, if we say. Gemini Pro Vision is the model that is multi-model, that it can like chat with you on the text to text. It can do image to text thing. From text to image, you can send an image and get the text out of it. You can send the text, okay, just draw something for me. It will generate the image for you. Similarly, other models like they work perfectly with videos and audios. So, but we will mainly focus on the LLM models that is for the textual data. Now comes the decoding LLM models like ChatGPT. So we will first understand what GPT is. When I say GPT, so this GPT is the backbone of how the things work behind the models, LLM models, and it is nowhere related to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just a name of the tool, and it is not a model. ChatGPT have three models behind this. That is GPT-4, GPT 3.5, and GPT-4o. And after that, we will talk about how these models are trained. So let's go to understanding what does generative pre-trained transformers means. So generative pre-trained transformers is basically the backbone of how the things is happening behind the picture. I'll take one term each and I'll explain this. So generative means GPT models that are designed to generate the text. They can create new sentences, paragraphs, blogs, articles, or even code generation based on the input you give. So they work by predicting the next word in a sequence, building on the context provided by the previous words. For example, dogs are. If you give an LLM words like two words like dogs are and give it to LLM, it will predict, okay, dogs are animal. And similarly, if you give again and again and again, like dogs are animal, and then you pass to LLM, then it will predict something like dogs are animal that can eat, that can sleep, all these things. So this is what happened in GPT models like uh, ChatGPT, Gemini. So it adds more words and therefore it generates the whole new answer for you. Now come to the pre-trained. The GPT models are pre-trained on vast corpus of text data. When I say vast corpus of text data, again, I'm repeating that the data that comes from the websites, articles, books, and whatsoever is publicly available on the internet, and some private information that is being given to companies like Microsoft, Google, IBM, and Meta. So these large corpus of data are being pre-trained on models on models like LLM models. So this pre-training involves learning patterns, structures, and common knowledge from the large data set, which gives the model a broad understanding of the language. Then comes the transformer. The backbone architecture of GPT model is the transformer models. Transformer models makes it highly effective for the natural language processing task. So how does everything works? A LLM is an artificial neural network, basically a bunch of parameters connected each other similar to our brain. As I'm talking to you guys, maybe like billions of millions or billions of neurons are getting in action in your brain. Similarly, as soon as you send a number or a text to an artificial neural network, and depending on how the parameters are set, the results come out. Now, you may think like when I say the numbers to the artificial neural network, but I am always trying to say that LLM is for textual data. So how it is being converted to numbers? So the concept behind conversion of textual data to numbers is word embedding. And similarly, we do for images and videos and all these things. We generate the metrics of the numbers, and then we feed to the model that is being trained on that, and then it gives the output as you require, as you wanted. So now, how it is being trained. So how the LLM models are trained, there are two algorithms that are being used to train a large language model. So the first is unsupervised generative pre-training. Take an example of the human brain. We at the age of 1 or 2 just inherit whatever goes on in our surrounding, and then gradually start speaking words like mama, dada, or something like this. And eventually we start forming the whole sentences like I want milk or something like this. Similarly, the model undergoes training with lots of data, and that is what we call unsupervised generative training. It adjusts millions of parameters until it starts performing better. But then it undergoes to next mechanism, that is reinforcement learning with human feedback, where a lot of human validates the result by giving rewards to model. For example, take an example of dogs. When human train dogs, so whenever you tell a dog to sit or walk, it starts doing, and you reward it with some food. So the dog is able to capture that if okay, I follow that my human is saying, I will be rewarded with food. So that is amazing. So that is how it starts performing lately, and that is how the reinforcement learning with human feedback works. Because like there are a lot of humans were there while training the data, who were sitting behind the model after it is being trained, and they're continuously rewarding the results with zeros and ones. That if it is the result is okay, then it is one. If it the result is not okay, then again it goes back, and this concept we call as back propagation. It goes back, it adjusts the parameters all over again, and then try to generate the new answers. So maybe I can explain it with an example. Like for an instance, if you write to ChatGPT right now, maybe you can write it, how to rob a bank. If this model is just trained only on unsupervised generative pre-training, it would have explained the whole procedure of robbing the bank. Like, you can go, you can wear the mask and all this thing. But it also underwent to reinforcement learning with human feedback, like which helped this model to understand that it should not assist this type of questions. So if you write to ChatGPT, it will directly say that I am not capable enough to answer this question, or maybe I cannot assist with that questions. So this is how the LLM has been trained. Prompting. Prompting, maybe you have heard a lot on prompt engineering. We should write a good prompt. So what exactly it is? Prompting refers to the method of giving instructions or examples, or like query you ask to ChatGPT or something. So that is prompting. Any query you are giving to ChatGPT, that is prompting. But why prompting is needed? Why everyone is so hyped up of you should learn prompt engineering and give time to prompt engineering? Why it is so necessary? So consider taking a topper of your class, of your batch maybe, who is an expert in all subject. He scored very good. He knows everything. And he is available with you all the time. But sometimes it is not like that person is not able to give the type of response you wanted. So you start rephrasing your question. So maybe like you are wrong. Maybe you are not phrasing the question the way so that you get the correct result. So you start rephrasing the question. Okay, like maybe I am not asking in the correct way. Maybe like I should rephrase the question and ask in the correct way to get the correct response from them. So that is what prompting do. So ChatGPT is just like your topper friend who is available with you, and you are asking the questions, and it is not giving as expected results. So you rephrase the sentence. So that is prompting. But there are several types of prompting. Mainly three we are focusing. So like first is zero shot prompting. So zero shot prompting is like you are asking the question directly to the chat GPT or any tool that is freely available, and it gives the result entirely based on the pre-trained knowledge that it has without any context. Like for example, we can take the example of this seminar. So if I, as a speaker, I went to ChatGPT, okay, ChatGPT, give me the topic to speak on the webinar. I'm not giving a context. I'm not giving on what topic I will be speaking. Anything I'm not giving. So it may give top 10 trendy topics that I can speak on webinar. Then comes one-shot prompting. So one-shot prompting provides the model like with a single example to illustrate the task. So for example, uh, I again went to ChatGPT and I say like, okay, I wanted to give a seminar webinar on AI topic, and can you give me subtopics that even Sam Altman also speak on the opening note of GPT-4. So then I'm giving the example. Okay, what are the subtopics that he covered in his announcement, and that maybe I can also use the subtopics in this webinar. So this is one shot prompting. And then comes the future prompting. Future prompting involves a lot of examples to demonstrate the task. Like this technique is basically helps the model to better grasp the pattern and structure required to respond you back. So the example of future prompting is like if I ask ChatGPT right now, what is LLM? It may answer in two ways, like one LLM with respect to generative AI and one LLM with respect to law. But if I say, but if I ask the question first, that is, what is generative AI? And then I ask, what is LLM? Then it already know the context behind the question that what is LLM. That okay, this person is asking about the LLM that is related to generative AI, but not related to law. So that is future prompting. So next slide is the most crucial slide. Like, will AI take over the jobs or replace developers? So, and should we be worried? So the answer is no, because like I have seen three types of people. One is like who is in denial mode that okay, no one can replace me, even the AI can't replace me. So that we can leave. The second type of people who are in a panic mode that says like, okay, definitely AI will take my job and I should just leave doing anything. But you should be the person who is of the third type that okay, AI is there. I can use AI for my betterment. I can use it for my productivity. Uh, I can make the AI to code for me, and I can do the debug. I can do the critical thinking part, or maybe like like I start skill up things. I can start reading things. I can start learning other things than just coding and all these things. So the answer is no. Like it will never take your job, but definitely anyone should now have to learn how to use AI tools for their betterment and productivity. And AI is here to like automate some repetitive tasks like coding and all these things, testings and debugging the things and doing the research part. But whenever human intelligence is needed, like in the case of lawyer can cut their research work from 80% to 20%, and the rest of the time they can give to the clients and do some ground level studies and all these things. Similarly, with other fields like doctor, even for us, developers also. Developers should always have the domain knowledge to debug the code that AI has done for you. So why I'm saying this, why our jobs is safe, because we can't really rely on AI for now because it hallucinates a lot. When I say hallucinates means basically like maybe it is giving wrong answer, maybe factual. on the if we speak about the facts, it is wrong. If I say that this Eiffel Tower is in Delhi, two, three times if I say, it will imagine, okay, it is in Delhi, it is not in Paris or something. So that is what hallucination is going on in AI field right now, and it is a lot. So I would suggest that everyone should focus on the T learning. That is like you should know lot of things, but you should be expert in one domain. And if you are able to debug the code that AI is writing, because debugging the code is also a good amount of task. So AI will never replace any, not will never replace, but like for few years it will not replace any of the job right now, because like it's still learning, it's still in the learning phase. But yes, you should skill up and you should update yourself, stay update, so that no one can replace your job. So this slide is mainly for this. Like programming is not just about writing the code. The creating the software, like it needs anything you write, it needs a problem solving mindset, a creativity, and an effective communication. And AI is here to just automate the repetitive tasks like code generation and testing and bug fixing and all these things. And it is freeing up all the developers. Even we use ChatGPT or Gemini or any other model for code generation in companies as well. So this just free up the developers to focus on more creative part and make more strategy behind the software development, like designing complex things, understanding user needs, and driving innovation. So that is where AI can't really help you, and there the only human skills will remain crucial. So AI lacks in the for now, AI lacks in creativity, emotional intelligence, and problem solving abilities. So that is the vital role for us as a developer to bring into the onto the table and be the expert of whatever you are doing. Build the interpersonal skill, and especially in the today's world, I would suggest collaboration and the communication skill is the most important thing. Even uh, just now, I have shown you prompting. So prompting needs a good communication skills. If you can't write the prompt, then you can't expect the chat GPT or any tools to give the result that you wanted. If you if you want to make a code generation and you are just writing, okay, generate a code with only single line or something like that without even giving the context, it will generate a small piece of code. But if you give the whole amount of context, okay, so this will be the variable name, this should be the method name and all these things, then it will effectively gives the result that in the way you want it. So the most important skill right now is communication and collaboration. How you can talk even with ChatGPT, even, and communication skill in general is very important. So how to build a career in AI? In like first thing is stay up to date with the latest trend. AI is evolving so rapidly. We haven't seen such a rapid growth in any of the field as we are seeing in AI. And when I say rapidly growing, it means like every day we can see a new model is coming into the picture, new techniques of talking to AI is coming. Like there are a lot of things that is being every day we can see. Like sometimes it is fine tuning, RAG approach, all these things. So what I say is like stay up to date with the latest trend, but not like every day you start learning. But yeah, it should be a continuous like growth in the learning, and focus on your creativity, your critical thinking, communication, how you can design the software so effectively, and how you can integrate AI. Because the main focus right now is every company is running behind AI, and they don't know really like how to integrate AI in their product. They just want anything anything should a magic wand should happen, and like AI should be integrated in that. So that is the one thing like you should be, because like for me and specifically for AI engineers, many company come like this. Okay, I have this product, add some AI in this and give us. So that is our job, like to think creatively, think critically, and do all this research, like how we can add AI to these things, and it should, if like it should be beneficial for both the parties, like for us and for the specifically for the client. So that is where like our software development skills will come into the picture, because like this is a direct case study of problem solving and critical thinking, and also how we can design all these things. Again, I will say embrace the AI as a tool, not as a threat. Because the more you will learn how to use, how to utilize tools like ChatGPT, DALI, code generation tools, and all these things, the more you can be productive, the more you can work on other things, and this will show you how, this will also like make you evolve with the rapid growth as AI is evolving every day. So continuous learning is essential as an engineer. Now, when I say that we use, and when you come to the corporate world, assuming you all are college grads, so when you come to the corporate world, you will be doing both the things. You will be using the AI products, and you will also be building the AI products. So let's suppose like you as a user for now, you are in college. So you are user of ChatGPT, let's say. You are going to ChatGPT asking something, and it is hitting the model, because ChatGPT is not a model. It is a tool from Microsoft, that is from OpenAI, I'm sorry, that is in the back, either using GPT 3.5, GPT 4, or GPT 4.0. So that are LLM models. So basically, when you ask any query on the UI of ChatGPT, so it is directly hitting to the API, which is giving you the response from the model back to you. And when you come to the corporate world, and even if you go and make some project right now, here it is your data. Maybe this is something like your edtech. You are making an edtech website, and you want to integrate something, a chatbot over here, that a user can be students can come to the website and use the chatbot for general queries. So that is again hitting the API, which is returning the response from the model. So either you are a user or you are the one who is building the product. You have to be, one thing you should know, how to integrate API, how to work with API. That is the most crucial part of being an AI engineer, or anything, any software developer also. So this is the one thing, like you as a you, like for me, even like I am this person that is building the product. Even I go to as a user to ChatGPT, okay, ChatGPT, please generate a code for me. So I am the person like who is using was and also building the AI product. This is the most uh, important slide. What are the top essential skills that needs to be an AI engineer or a machine learning engineer or a data scientist? Because these three fields are very different. But the core concept of this field is you should be aware of machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing, frameworks, and libraries as well. The maths behind this, how the model is being trained, what are the things that is happening behind it, what are transformers, the statistics, and all these things comes into this. And once you are aware of this, then it is very easy, not very easy, but it will be easy for you to understand, okay, how the things is working behind this. Then comes to data handling. Data handling is the vital part of any of this field because data can be in any format. Like it can be in unstructured format, structured format. When I say unstructured, means like okay, this PPT that I am showing that I'm directly feeding to AI. Okay, and then I'm asking, okay, whatsoever I have written, I wanted to ask based on this PPT whatsoever I have written on this. So that is unstructured data because this is not in a tabular format. Structured data are in the tabular format, and this is unstructured data. Unstructured data can be anything like website. I can give the direct link of website, or maybe like PDF I can give, or maybe a PDF that contains everything, a tabular thing, and normal text, paragraphs, even photos, graph, anything that is unstructured data. So how to handle all these things that comes under data handling. And this is one of the most crucial part of any of this skills, any of the job you will be doing in future in the field of AI. Then comes model evaluation. So once you are done building the model or like doing something with the model, you wanted to check how it is performing with respect to because if you go to anyone, if you are building something, then you must know how much percentage of result that you are getting is correct or how much it is not performing well, so that you may go back and maybe you can change the parameters or anything you can do, or maybe you can change something in the data, so that will help you to evaluate the models again and get the better performance out every time you do some changes. Then comes the generative AI. So generative AI consists like I have written only four things over here that is quite a popular currently, but there are a lot of things apart from this. First is prompt engineering. So writing a prompt it itself is a huge job right now because you can't really predict what AI will return to you. Maybe sometimes like even the the prompt you're giving with a full of context that will not give you the good result as compared to like zero shot prompts or like one shot prompt with just one example. So prompt engineering is one of the most crucial part where you it requires a lot of uh, a lot of communication skills and writing skills and all these things. Then comes fine tuning. So fine tuning is basically fine tuning and RAG are basically the techniques that can be used to effectively work with large language models like GPT-3 and GPT-4. So first I can say, first I will tell about fine tuning. So fine tuning is basically a process that is for like that is further trained on a specific data set to adapt it for a particular task or domain. Maybe for an example, I'll train GPT-4 or GPT-3 more on a law data set that it will help lawyers to work better with that as compared to the generic model that everyone is using. So this requires a good amount of GPU and TPU, but fine tuning here helps you to just change the last layer of the artificial neural network so that you can do even on the Windows and MacBook. And these things help you to perform. Like this is an additional training that helps the model to specialize and improve the performance on a specific data set and task. Now comes RAG. You must have seen or maybe you have used GPT-4 or not. But if you give a PDF, you can upload a PDF to Gemini, and you can, and then it starts processing, and then it says, okay, the processing is done. You can ask anything based on the PDF. So that is RAG. So RAG is basically like it helps to improve the effectiveness of the LLM applications by using the custom data to provide the context for the LLM. It means like it can be done by retrieving the documents or the data that are relevant to a task and then we can do some question and answering on this. So that is RAP. And the last is API integration. As I have spoke here, the crucial part is how you interact with AI APIs. How you interact with models. That is through APIs. So API integration is one of the most important part as an engineer, whether you are a developer, whether you are a software developer, whether you are a Python developer, whether you are a AI engineer or something. But API integration is the thing that you need to know how to work on this. So that is all on the seminar, and thank you so much for patiently listening me. Any questions? And yeah, I guess Vedant, you can.
Hi, Akriti. Hi, Vedant. Vedant, I turn on your microphone. You can ask your queries.
Some like APIs you talked like over here. So like how you like I don't really know much about APIs. So like in LLM, I'm nearly know about LLMs and about stuff. So how do we like integrate and like start with the API stuff?
Yeah, so maybe I can share. So whenever you go to ChatGPT or OpenAI website or Gemini website, you can always see an API document over there, and that is there you can find how the API is integrated. You can just click. Maybe I can show you. Just a second. Maybe I can.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Everyone,
So Vedant.
first of all, one by one, wait in a queue, please.
Yeah, so Vedant, for you, you go to the Gemini, you can just search for Gemini API key, APIs, and you will be directed to this kind of document, this kind of web page, and here you can directly see how this API, how you can be API and how you can create the API key, and you can start building this. Everything is written on all the LLMs that you want to work on. Either it is Gemini, either it is OpenAI large language models like GPT 3.5, 4, or 4.0, or with Llama. And everything is written over here. You can just go and develop with Gemini, and you can do like you have all these things like collab code also, notebooks and everything. So it is easy to communicate with AI, but it's just the thing you should be knowing how API works, how you can integrate with the API, the things, and how you can utilize the API, how you can utilize the large language model through APIs. I hope I have given your answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Akriti, we have a question from YouTube. What is the
Yeah.
reward for an AI model during training?
So, as I say, like there are a lot of things that you can give as a reward, but mostly it is mostly in the Boolean, like zeros and ones. So, if it is a one, then it is like okay, you are going right, and you can start. The parameters is correct. But if you are giving a zero, then it's like okay, go back and get the it adjusts the parameters, and then it basically like start the training all over again, and then maybe like if the results is better, we can give a one, okay, this parameter is correct, and then we are fine. So this is how rewards work.
I hope Pratham, your answer would be clear from Akriti side. Yes, Apu, you can speak.
Good evening, ma'am. Apur's this side. Ma'am, I wanted to
Good
ask,
evening.
I use Claude a lot. So, does it use NLP, and how can we get better at NLP, understanding NLP, and building applications of NLP? As well as one more thing,
So
ma'am.
yeah,
One more thing, ma'am. Ma'am, it takes we can upload files on Claude and Gemini both. So, how does it process the files?
so Claude and Gemini are both LLM models. That is like they work on NLP. NLP is the base algorithm that is being used behind the LLM. So NLP always, you have seen NLP always works on the textual data. Now the question is how the PDF and all these things are working. So I have explained the RAG approach. So retrieval augmented generation. When you upload the PDF on Gemini or Claude or any of the model, then what it do is like it converts the whole PDF into a number, and then that number goes to the model, and based on that number it tries to generate and it tries to learn the things from it. It is not getting trained back, but it is trying to learn from the PDF, okay, what is happening in the PDF, and then based on the PDF it tries to give the answer you are looking for. So hopefully, like Apur, yeah.
Abhijit, yes, you can speak.
Yeah, so hey, Abhijit this side, ma'am. And so my
Yeah.
question is, I am building an application in which I have to put an bot, which is like connected to the ChatGPT. But for that, I need API and the other resources also. But when I was just configuring my ChatGPT to the bot, I like my data, the data I have for the patients and everything like that. It's not getting connected to my API. So when I ask that bot about my questions or things related to the patients and everything, or like from the database, then ChatGPT always gives the default answers. Like I'm
Mm.
not able to enough, like not capable enough to answer this. Yeah, other than this.
So, Abhishek, one question like, what model you are trying to integrate?
Sorry.
What model you are trying to integrate? Like, you are using ChatGPT directly, or like you are using the API from ChatGPT or OpenAI?
API key, open.
Okay, so I wanted to know, like, you are paying for Chat like OpenAI API key, because like it is paid, it is not free at all. So if you are paying, then it will work. If you're not paying, that it won't, because like it is not free for everyone now.
API key is free, ma'am, I guess.
Uh, as far I remember, it is not. Maybe I can be wrong, but if it is not working, then maybe you can change the model to Gemini or something like that, because like that are open, and it can also read more than like 1.5 lakh lines altogether. So that will be beneficial for your type of data set. Because GPT, what right now we have is like they consist of tokens, that is 16K or 32K. And if you are using a large amount of data, then it will not respond to you. That is the thing. Hopefully,
My
like I
last
have
question
answered your
is,
question. Yeah, yeah,
like AI is good for diagnosis also.
yeah. It is good for diagnosis, but you can't really rely on this, because like for medical, if you are saying diagnosis on the medical terms, am I correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so for medical terms, we don't rely on AI because AI hallucinates a lot. So for now, there are models that are continuously getting evolved and trained on the medical documentation and diagnosis reports and all these things. but still you can't just rely on this AI. But yes, you can go for this. You can build a project out of the medical diagnosis and all these things. You can just pass the like whatever the text is written in the document, and then you can just send it to the API, sorry, to the model using the APIs, and then you can get the question answer whatever you are asking for.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, a four, I guess.
Apur Vivek.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask, like, we had like on cloud when we upload a file. Then you told that so many things happen in the background, like the entire data set is converted into like whatever the file has into zeros and ones and into numbers, like, and then it processes and then it returns in textual format. So all of this happens in such a like in such a short span of time. How is it possible, ma'am?
So, okay, so this the PDF that you will be working on maybe like 3 to 4 pages or maximum 50 pages or 100 pages. But we as an AI engineers works on like thousands of lakhs of files. But still it works within like 10 minutes or like 15-20 minutes. So like the processing time is very fast because first thing is you are not training any model. Training requires time, but when the conversion of the words to numbers does not require much of time because that is not using any kind of AI behind this. That is a complete like NLP thing that is going behind this. So whenever AI comes into the picture, it will take time. Whenever the training comes into the picture, it will definitely take time. Fine tuning the model will take time, but the RAG approach will never take much of time. So yeah, maybe like I have given the answer.
Ma'am, could you elaborate on the RAG approach?
Yeah, so RAG approach is basically like, okay, let's suppose you have a PDF of 50 or 100 pages and you are sending that to LLM. As soon as you send the PDF to the LLM, it first converts the textual data into the numerical data, and then that does not need any kind of AI in between that. So as soon as the spontaneously it is getting converted to textual data, then it learns from the PDF. Okay, these are the numbers and how it is related with each other. It tries to build the relationship among all the numbers. You must have you must know that KNN concept, K nearest neighbor things.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, so in the backend, it kind of create a cluster like format for PDF, and as soon as you ask the question, it for the questions also get convert into the numbers. So whatever the prompt you are giving to ChatGPT or something, any tool, that also goes and convert into numbers, and based on that number, you can based on that number, models behind ChatGPT like GPT-3 or GPT 3.5, sorry, that that takes the number and check okay the which cluster this number are more related to, and based on that it will return the answer. So maybe like this is the basic RAG approach that is being followed.
Akriti, we have one question from YouTube. How
Yeah.
can we train a model at an individual scale as a college undergrad student?
So you can't really train a model uh, because like model needs a lot of GPUs and TPUs, like as mentioned. You can fine tune the model, like you can change the last layer of the model. Maybe like if I take an example of Llama, you can't really fine tune models like GPT-4, GPT 3.5, or models that are like crossing 30 billions of parameters because all these models are trained of billions of parameters. But if you want to really train any model, then that model should be under like 3 billion or 7 billion data set. So like Llama, we have Llama 7B models, Llama 13B models, or Llama 3B models also. You can fine tune that model based on the data you have. And first of all, to train a model, you need a huge amount of data set, which which itself is a challenging part to take care of. So you can fine tune the model, you can change the last layer of the model based on the data set you are providing. You can that will help you to make your model domain specific. Like for the task you are working on, that specific mod for that particular task, you can make a model to behave like that. You can create the biasness of the model on the data set you wanted to work on, but you can't really train the model to that set.
After these students are curious, like how can I contact her for any future guidance? So what
Yeah,
should
you
I say?
so yeah, LinkedIn, I guess, because that is the
So
first medium I can say.
everyone, I shared you the details over the WhatsApp group. Kindly join the WhatsApp group. Here I can share the PDF and after the LinkedIn profile. Okay. Yes, Apurva and Siddharth. One by one. You can ask your question.
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, I recently saw a reel on Instagram that they had trained a particular a song in Lata Mangeshkar's voice, so that required 10,000 plus hours of training. So, ma'am, how does like making a song that is already sung by a person in sing it in a singer who is already dead? How do they do that?
So LLM is based on textual data, but I said like there are models, there are LLM is not a model. LLM is a concept, is a type of artificial intelligence. Similarly, we have for images and videos and audios. So when you say like Lata Mangeshwar is already not here with us, and but we can still make AI to generate something in her voice. So what basically is happening is we are feeding a lot of songs from Lata Mangeshwar's, and it is able to grasp the knowledge. Okay, how this is how Lata Mangeshwar sings. Like the pitch goes up and down and all these things. You can ask AI to sing in Lata Mangeshwar voice the Ariana Grande song. It can sing. It can take the lyrics from Ariana Grande and it can ask it just feed the lyrics to Lata Mangeshwar voice and she will sing. So, but you can't really train these things on directly on your on your available devices, whatever you have. Maybe like I am wrong. I haven't seen. I haven't worked with music, audios, and all these things, so I can be wrong. But yeah, that is a good thing. I will also research on this.
Ma'am, can you just tell
Yeah,
me one more thing?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Ma'am, like if LLM is used to train the textual data, like for music, exactly what kind of model is used?
So, for music, I am not aware, but I am aware of the tools that you can use to do this. That is 11 Labs, one that works on music. You can generate any kind of music on that. You can ask, you can just give the lyrics or whatever, even your voice as well. You can ask, okay, Lata Mangeshwar song in your voice, it will generate. But I'm not aware of the models that is working behind this. But yeah, tools 11 labs you can use.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Siddharth.
Ma'am, you talked about the prompt that we use in our daily life. So, how can we make sure that this prompt will give the correct response that we want?
So for this, like I have said, like you can do any of the techniques that is zero shot, few shot, and one shot. So prompting it means like you are how you effectively communicate with the chat GPT. It's like it is your friend and you want to communicate with your friend effectively, and but you are not able to communicate and you are not getting as the response you wanted. So you just rephrase a sentence every time. Maybe you can give the more context to it to get the better prompt out of it, to get the better response out of it, or maybe you can give more examples and more basically the knowledge to it so that it will give the output as you wanted in the format you wanted.
Okay.
Hope I have answered. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Aakriti, what are the potential applications of AI in IoT ecosystem and how can they be optimized for low latency environment?
Okay, that especially IoT I am not aware of, so maybe I can't answer this.
So Harun,
I'll research on this and maybe on WhatsApp I can reply on this.
sure.
Yeah.
We have one more question from Harun's side. What role do embeddings play in the enhancing the semantic
Uh,
understanding capabilities of chatbots, and how can they be effectively utilized?
yeah. So word embeddings are basically like, maybe in a simpler term I can say, is converting the textual into the metrics, into the numbers. And LLM or machines in general, machines only understand numbers. So when uh, we pass any PDF or when we do word embeddings, it directly affects it. Like when I say like it forms in the backend, it forms the cluster what all are related with each other. The words that are related with each other, that forms a one cluster. And similarly, we in the backend it forms thousands and millions of cluster. And whenever you ask a question or whenever you do the word embedding on any of the topic that you are asking, it uh, converts that into the number. And whenever it search, because it makes it easier to get search from it from the cluster. So let's say dogs are, when I say this, so that is converting into number. So as soon as I say dog, it will convert that into some number, and it will search for the cluster that consists of animals that have dogs or something. When it sees that okay, there's a cluster that consists of a dog, and then it see okay, this is a major subset of a word animal, it will return the animal. So this is how it impacts, the embedding impacts all over the thing. That is why like RAG approach don't need much time to get the result out of it, but fine tune does. So yeah.
Bipin, yes, you can speak.
Good evening, ma'am. Vipin here. Ma'am, I want to ask that as we have seen in the movie of Iron Man, there was his personal artificial intelligence, Jarvis. So, in current time, it is possible that we can connect the power of artificial intelligence of OpenAI or Google Gemini to make our personal AI and automate our works like daily life official works or any educational works and
Yeah.
anything we want to create like 3D printings and anything. So it is possible to give voice command and it will do all our works as we say.
Yeah, so within there are already this kind of tools in the market which will help you to uh, do some generate some task for you. And maybe like you yourself can build a bot that is AI, that is using the AI voice assistant, and based on that you can even ask ChatGPT. You give the context, okay, this is my uh, day-to-day work, and this is how I work, and all this context to ChatGPT. And you ask ChatGPT, okay, now generate some task for me timely and based on based on my lifestyle, you should generate everything. It will generate. You just need to add the voice assistant to that, and you're all ready to make it happen. But for Jarvis, you are saying, so Jarvis had like from the movie perspective, Jarvis already have a lot of information about the person. So if you are okay to give your person information to AI tools, and if you want to build something like that, you have to give a lot of permissions about yourself to AI tool to get to get things like Jarvis.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, I want to
Yeah.
ask that how we can build an AI startup using artificial intelligence that we can use it as a base program, like we can use its API to connect it, but we can create our new startup using artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so on this, I would say if you are new to something like this, like specifically AI, I would recommend you first start participating in hackathons, because there you unlock the potential of like thinking how like to think creatively, how to be the unique person. And from there, or maybe you can do a lot of research on this, how people are making product out of this. Because in hackathons, me being a active participant in hackathons and all these things, so I have always seen that all people who participates in hackathon are way unique as compared to what is already there in the market. Because there you are actually solving, you wanted to solve some real life problem. So this is how you can start your journey with AI, because this is how even I am doing. I have been an active participant on hackathon, and from there you will get the idea, okay, this is the one thing that it is a that can solve the real life problem, and it is also having AI into this, so this can be the startup. So this is how maybe you can pursue with your AI startup dream.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for answering and clearing that out. Ma'am, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Uh, as there is one hype is created in the market that AI will replace humans very soon. So, ma'am, it is possible that in future time, 1 or 2 decades, AI will become so powerful that he will be more intelligent than human, and it will be as we can see in Terminator movie that it can access all the database and it can connect itself from satellites data, and it have control over all the universal database, and it can create anything which it want. So it is possible in future time, as we say, after general AI will come, so it is their chance.
So, like, I am not sure about 2 decades what will happen, but for now, whatever the current scenario is happening, definitely it will replace few jobs right now, maybe manual testing and all these things. But again, like, don't take it as a rigid line that I'm saying whatever I'm saying. But whatever the trend is saying right now is like definitely it will replace few jobs now or sooner. But uh, as I mentioned throughout the seminar, you should be up to date every time to beat AI anywhere. Because I have seen many developers that are doing the same job every day. They just do the same repetitive jobs. That things can be replaced by AI. If you want to say that thing that like, okay, because of AI my job is gone, because you are not updating yourself, that is why your job is gone. So my I always say one thing to everyone, that be up to date, use AI tools as much as you can, so that you will be safe in the future. So yeah, but I can't say like what will happen in 10 years, or like in the next 2 decades. But yeah, it's your own duty to survive, to be in the race of AI, because everything in the future will be AI plus business. It's like till now it was like businesses and then we were integrating AI. In future it will be like AI, or okay, I have AI and then on top of it I am making a business out of it. So yeah, that is it. Hope I have given you answer. I'm not sure about Terminator and all this.
Yes, ma'am. As it was a curiosity, and as we are seeing in the
Yeah,
future, and different types of artificial intelligence are working, so it is a common doubt that it may happen in future that more advanced models can develop. So
yeah. Like AI is already something that is intelligent, but if we say that is it critically intelligent or emotional intelligence, I doubt it is not till now.
yes, thank you, ma'am, for answering all the things.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up the session. Thank you so much, Aakriti, for joining this session and the wonderful content you deliver. Thank you, audience, for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank
All
you so
the
much for listening. Yeah.
all the attendees, please join the WhatsApp group for her LinkedIn ID and all the details. You will get it into the WhatsApp group. So thank you so much once again, Aakriti.
Thank you so much.
Like, I believe that your expertise and insight would be valuable to our participants.
Yeah, I hope so.
We look forward to many
Okay.
more sessions.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much.
All the attendees are requested. Please do join our WhatsApp group. And for the video and recording, please check out our social media platforms. Thank you for joining.